YouTube. So life, what makes, sorry, I have a little hair in my lip. What makes your life meaningful? There has to be something throughout the day, something in your life in particular that, this is so annoying. What makes your life meaningful? What is it that you get up to do every day that you're so excited, or who is it that you're so excited to see every day? Of course, for most people that have families, this is going to be their wife or husband and kids, right? Because family is what motivates you to do better and be better. But what if you don't have that? What if you are single? Then you have to find things, it's not all relying on whoever's next to you. To get to that point, it's also great if you can work on yourself in the journey of getting there, right? To meet the right partner. So in the meantime, you have so many things to do that can actually also give high value to your life because you just love doing it. So if you don't have kids or a wife or a husband, and don't get me wrong, I mean, some people maybe are in relationships and they're toxic and they're not great. So when I say, does your family make your life meaningful? Your answer is going to be no. So it's relative. I guess it depends on everybody. But for the most part, in a logical sense, it would be, yeah, your family is going to make your life meaningful. But maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your job, maybe it's something of just getting up every day and discovering what the day has to offer. I mean, all of us have such different ways of seeing life and seeing the day by day that it's just a matter of finding that glitch, finding that little bit of light that when you are around whatever makes you happy, or when you're doing whatever makes you happy, you are generating your own positive energy. And that is going to escalate. It's like a domino effect, So maybe what makes you happy isn't even animals or people. Maybe it's just doing something in particular every day, and that gives you meaning. Maybe you help somebody cross the road every day. Maybe you help a little old lady every now and then, or maybe you go to a place to read to the elderly. I mean, imagine the amount of options that you would have that could give you meaning. So if you're stuck in this sense of lifeless life where you don't know why you're here, you've reached a bottom, where everything is just going wrong, or nothing's working for you, and you need to find meaning. I feel like we are people of purpose. Humans are people of purpose. So when you don't have a purpose in life, you are lost, okay? So try to see if there's no purpose for you right now. Try to see what resonates with you most. What could you do that usually things that have to do with helping others is always going to, retribute in a very positive way when it comes to your self-esteem. So eventually, and of course, it's better if you do it from the heart and not expecting anything back, but you're inevitably going to get back that feeling of, I just did something good for someone that felt good. Okay, so I know there's a lot of people out there that are lost, a lot of people out there that have no joy, nobody to cheers them up, or nobody to tell them, hey, it's okay, it's going to be okay. Tomorrow's another day, and tomorrow's going to be better than today. And if today was a shitty day, then don't worry. It's not every day is perfect and beautiful. All right. So if you don't have that motivation behind you, then you have to be your own writer. You have to be the one to find what motivates you, what drives you, what can give you just the goosebumps to do something with joy for the first time, all right? And believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there that have no purpose or no joy, no goosebumps, no butterflies for absolutely anything. And that's how lost they are, okay? So if you ever find someone like that, make sure you help them find something that motivates them, because it's in our human nature to be useful, to be needed. And of course, in a perfect environment, it would be that you find that, your soulmate, and you can feed out of each other and cry on each other's shoulders if you need to. And because when one person is negative, the other one absorbs the negative and helps you be positive, and vice versa. But if you are still in the path and in the route to get to that stage of attracting the right partner, then you're on your own. I mean, let's be cruel and let's be real. You're on your own. No matter how much family and friends say that they're there for you when you go to sleep at night, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling like crap, and nobody's there to comfort you when you're falling asleep, you are alone. So just because you're alone, it doesn't necessarily mean that all is, over and your life is over and you should be having suicidal thoughts. Like somebody tweeted to me, they're like, I have no purpose in life. Sometimes I think of committing suicide. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people have gone through these thoughts. I can add myself to it, but when I was really, teen, we all have those moments, some maybe worse than others, but it's so important to at least have that little bit of light or that little something. And it could be so insignificant sometimes that we don't pay attention. It could be so insignificant as to maybe seeing a neighbor and their dog, and or seeing someone that you don't even talk to that can make you smile, or seeing the show and that makes you smile. So just find something that makes you smile at least once a day, and then you'll kind of go from there. Okay, so you must find meaning to life, and this isn't going to come from one day to the next. This is something that's going to come little by little, but you have to put a little bit of your effort so you can make a list and find, well, what is it that you like to do? What is it that you enjoy doing? And what are you good at? Because let's be honest, maybe you love to sing, but you're really crap at it. Nobody wants to hear you sing. So you do it in the shower, fine. But you want to make sure you find something that can motivate you and make you feel better about, self-confidence. Well, all right. That was definitely wrong worded, sorry. But it makes you have a better self-confidence, all right? So when we're good at something, you get happy, because we all love to hear someone say, oh, good job, you're doing great, this is beautiful, this is wonderful. So find little things like that. Maybe it's even hobbies or art stuff or things that you never even thought possible. I mean, there are some strange things out there, let me tell you. So there is no right or wrong when it comes to finding purpose and finding what makes you happy, because that little thing that you find, it might be knitting, like I'm trying to put normal little things out there. It might be knitting, and knitting makes you happy, and maybe you're this really big muscular guy and you love to knit. That's totally fine. It's just a matter of saying, well, if that makes you happy for, I don't know, half an hour in your day, that's half an hour that you have in your favor. That's half an hour that you're generating positive energy, and it's going to boot back to you, attracting something else that makes you happy. And then little by little, you start to give your life purpose. You start to give yourself purpose. I always vouch for helping others, because I feel like that's the best boomerang, and without doing it with intention of getting anything back, just doing it because it feels good to help someone else. So if you have in your ability at any moment in your day the possibility to give a hand to someone that's struggling, then by all means, that is where you should start. So simple as an act of kindness. ¿Cómo estamos? Ahora sí me escuchan, ¿no? Bueno, ¿qué es lo que le da a tu vida significado? ¿Cómo están, amigos? Yo quiero que el día de hoy hablemos de eso. Algunos de ustedes me dijeron mi familia, mi esposa, mis hijos, lo cual me parece fabuloso. Creo de que para la mayoría de personas una familia constituida específicamente, ¿no?, es lo que te hace seguir adelante, crecer, progresar, porque para eso son las familias, son para progresar. Entonces tú no vas, o sea, es ilógico estar en una relación tóxica, es ilógico estar perdiendo tiempo en situaciones que simplemente no van a ir a ningún lado, están estancados. Entonces, pues qué buena respuesta, los felicito. Ahora, los que no tienen familia, o los que están solos, los que no tienen hijos, no tienen esposas, o lo tienen pero se están divorciando, o simplemente no tienen una buena relación. Tuve una persona que me dijo, pues yo no tengo nada que me dé propósito, a veces siento que me quiero suicidar. Digo, bueno, pues yo creo que muchas personas ya pasamos por ahí. Yo me puedo agregar en la época de la adolescencia, ¿no?, esa mentalidad. Creo que hoy en día hay más personas proclives al pensamiento de suicidio, pero creo que siempre hubo, por el tema también del bullying, hoy en día estando tan abierto el internet a todo el mundo y las personas se afectan por lo que dicen los demás, ¿no? Especialmente porque la gente se esconde detrás de un usuario y no da la cara. ¿Cuántas personas hemos visto de que lamentablemente se han quitado la vida porque no aguantaban la presión? Un caso en particular ahora me viene a la mente, hace como 2 meses, una chica influencer que rescataba zorros, hermosa, y se suicidó porque no soportaba la presión de las redes sociales. Entonces imagínense hasta qué punto hemos llegado con la tecnología. Bueno, pero ese no es el tema de hoy, eso lo podemos dejar para otro día. Entonces volvemos a qué es lo que te da propósito. Si tú te levantas en el día y no tienes absolutamente nada, pero nada que te dé motivación en decir, ay, qué lindo, es un nuevo día, ¿no? ¿Y qué voy a hacer? Entonces, si no tienes a nadie a quien visitar o a nadie a quien ver o nada que hacer que te guste, no vas a tener ni la más mínima motivación, vas a estar cero en foco para traer cualquier tipo de positividad a tu vida, simplemente pues no está a tu favor. Entonces, como siento de que las personas que están en familia constituidas ya lo tienen, ¿no? Entonces, es una de las cosas más importantes es poder como que nutrirse de la energía misma que te ayuda a crear tu familia, ¿no? Tu pareja, tus hijos, que es hermoso, es la energía más positiva que hay. Entonces, a los que están solos, pues yo les diría, busquen algo que les haga feliz. Y puede ser algo tan sencillo como, no sé, pueden ser un hombre, ayer hablábamos de los hombres y la sensibilidad y que no les gusta llorar. Bueno, capaz que son un hombre bien grande y fortachón y les gusta tejer, ¿no? Pero el tejer les hace feliz, ¿y qué importa? Entonces tejan. Entonces, yo creo que no hay hobby que no valga. Entonces, es buscar algo en el cual eres bueno, porque siempre eso va a ayudar, por supuesto, tu ego, va a ayudar tu autoestima. A todos, somos personas sociales, a todos nos gusta que nos digan, bien hecho, qué bien lo hiciste, buen trabajo, ¿no? Sigue así. Entonces, si tú eres bueno en algo, eso es lo que tienes que explotar. Y si me dices, Jenny, no tengo ninguna habilidad, no soy bueno en absolutamente nada, lo dudo, es simplemente que no lo has encontrado, no te has dedicado el tiempo suficiente para encontrarlo, pero lo que sí te puedo decir es entonces busca a alguien o a algo que hacer que beneficie a los demás. Entonces, si tú eres del que me dices, no soy bueno para nada, no tengo familia, soy solo como un hongo y me quiero suicidar, yo te voy a decir, bueno, pues sal a la calle y ve qué puedes hacer bueno por otra persona. Es así de simple. Entonces, siempre hay alguien peor que tú. Entonces, al ayudar a los demás, no solamente vas a estar haciendo un acto de bien y es un boomerang porque lo que va viene, ¿no? O sea, no lo hagas por eso. Hazlo porque te vas a sentir bien haciéndolo. Quizás ayudar a cruzar a la calle a una persona mayor o ayudar a cargar las bolsas del mercado a una persona también que ves incapacitada o abrir una puerta o lo que sea. O sea, hay mil y un millón de situaciones que podemos nombrar y ahí se nos iría el programa en el cual tú puedes hacer una diferencia hacia otra persona o ves a alguien triste y simplemente le regalas una sonrisa o le preguntas qué pasa, necesitas hablar con alguien. Entonces no son situaciones y cosas que necesites ni siquiera dinero, fíjate. Entonces es que lamentablemente para muchas personas hay que ser realistas que están solos. Hay mucha gente sola en el mundo y cuanto más soledad, pues más negatividad, más tristeza, más depresión. Entonces lo que estamos intentando es que tú no te sientas así, de que no te sientas que si perdiste el camino, si perdiste el envión, ¿no? Podríamos decir de la vida, de que en algún momento tenías un impulso de motivación para llevarte a algún lado y ya no lo consigues, entonces estás solo, justamente, o sea, no vale ni familia a veces, porque cuando te vas a dormir, la soledad se siente en la almohada, ¿no? Entonces, depende de ti de salir adelante de ese pozo, depende de ti en proponerte y decir mentalmente, no quiero estar así, no me va a ganar la negatividad y mañana mismo me levanto temprano y salgo a correr o salgo a caminar y voy a hablar con la primera persona que se me cruce o que me sonría o que esté triste y le sonreiré para hacer una nueva conversación y alegrarle el día a alguien. Pero es tomar decisiones. Si no tenemos definido lo que queremos hacer en la vida todavía. No pasa nada, o sea, solamente no te quedes estancado, encuentra un propósito, encuentra una motivación por el cual vivir y no hay excusas, o sea, no hay excusa de que tú digas, no, porque yo no puedo. O sea, no, porque no estamos hablando ni de dinero, no estamos hablando que necesites algo para hacerlo, es algo totalmente mental. Entonces, tú eres tu único obstáculo en el decir, no puedo, no existe, ¿no? Entonces, es decir, no tengo ganas y no quiero, entonces solamente eres tú el que te puedes regañar y culpar de la situación en la que estás, nadie más. Es así de simple. Y si no lo quieres ver así, pues nunca vas a salir adelante. Pero es un estado de mente, es una mentalidad de decir voy a seguir adelante, voy a encontrar a algo o a alguien que me ayude a sentir un poco de cosquilleo o una alegría solamente de estar haciendo algo voluntario. Puedes hacer hasta un voluntariado de ayudar a rescatar animales, no sé, hay, como dije, muchísimas cosas que puedes hacer. Y así de a poquito ir encontrando tu camino, porque es muy normal para las personas, especialmente personas quizás que se divorciaron o perdieron la familia o no tienen a nadie, tienen que volver a empezar a los 40, 50 años, se encuentran totalmente, o sea, locos en el sentido de no saber para dónde agarrar y todo es paso a paso, ¿no? Pero más importante es la convicción que tú puedas tener de ti mismo y no quiero sonar, pero la fe que te tengas a ti mismo en decir, yo puedo, ¿no? O sea, voy a salir adelante y voy a empezar con cosas muy pequeñas que me ayuden a sentirme mejor. Ve a la playa, sal a un jardín, sal al aire libre, mira el sol, mira animales, todo lo que pueda hacer que te contagie con positividad, cosa de que en el momento que tú empiezas a hacer algo que te gusta y algo en el cual eres bueno y algo en el cual quizás estás ayudando y te está rebotando, vas de a poquito a ir generando tu propia energía positiva y eso va a hacer que eventualmente pues los caminos se te empiecen a abrir, pero mientras tanto todos van a estar cerrados. It's also about opening paths, you know. ¿Cómo estamos? Hola, Josecito. Hola, Martín. Are you talking about the song? Are we talking about a song? I don't know. I'm sure there's a song that is called like that. Hello, Ricardo. I wish you would be my right partner. Un beso, Josecito. Bienvenidos. A ver si bajamos. Hi, James. How are you? We humans are incapable of acting unless it is in our own interest. Oh, I know, that's also a little difficult, right? All we do, whether good or bad, we do it because it will benefit ourselves in some way. My life is beautiful, says Daniel. Interacting with customers and coworkers at my job gives me life meaning. See? So sometimes people think that, you know, these kind of questions are so deep, but it's like, they're not. You know, it's you have to have something to live for every day, and it doesn't have to be world peace, okay? Like it can be as simple as a chicken depends on you feeding them. You know, you have to care for someone or care for something, okay? Start with a plant. I thought you were going to do another show last week. It didn't happen. Oh, I mentioned yesterday that there was a fire in the jungle and our fiber optic was churned. So that's why it didn't happen. Hola, Tarcisio. Buenas noches. ¿Cómo estamos? A ver, subimos un poquito. Gracias por existir. Gracias. I've been in the hospital in May, unfortunately, and I'm still trying to get back to work. I miss all that. Hi, Martin. Well, I'm glad that you're at least out of the hospital. Or are you in the hospital now? Man, hospitals are so difficult. I hate hospitals because it's like there's so much strong energy there. It's really difficult to keep it out of you. So you just have to make sure that every day you're waking up and just imagining what your life is going to be when you get out of the hospital, all right? And yeah, time is flying. Did you know, a ver, vamos a frenar ahí, por favor. Did you know that actually scientifically time has sped up? I don't know if you guys have noticed that the days like go by really, really fast. It's Monday and then all of a sudden it's Monday again. Yeah. So it has to do with the axis, apparently, of the Earth and how it's rotating and all that. So scary. So if you don't live every day with a smile, then what are you doing? I was depressed for most of June and was unable to get out of my house. In May, they had to place a pacemaker above my heart. It came a week after a cruise to Mexico. Oh man. Well, you're here, you're alive, you're breathing, so that must mean something. You know, there's still purpose for you if you're still here. Guys, if you're still here, it's because you still have a purpose. And part of that purpose is to heal yourself, is to shine brighter, be better, do better, all right? And if you haven't found it yet, don't worry. Everything comes at its perfect timing. The important thing is that you at least are putting effort into it so that you can start attracting those purposes towards your life. May we could be brothers to pass some positive energy. There's always positive energy. You're receiving it through the show, my friends. You happen to do that. You put a smile on my face when you're doing Miami TV. Yay! That's good. That's also good. So I worked many, many years on my gift of energy to be able to emanate energy through my eyes. And I'm doing so actually now. And it's not even 100%. So if you guys feel like you receive positive energy through the show, definitely let me know. I even went through times of like my eyes burning. Our members know all about this. But this is the new way of emanating energy. And it's talking directly to you through the visual and through our contacts. So absorb all that you can because there is a fountain of it, so no worries. Helping others is the most human attitude that a human can have. Dice, ayudar a los demás es una actitud humana que todos tendríamos que tener. Jenny, why we look always to the other people if we are in good way of energy? ¿Por qué siempre vemos a los demás si estamos en una buena energía? Eso no lo entendí, pero es como natural también del humano compararse con los demás. No hagan eso no es bueno. Todos somos únicos, todos tenemos nuestro camino único y es importante tener en cuenta que somos los creadores de ese camino. You know, we are creators of our path. So if you spend time looking at others, which I feel like it's what most people do today, you spend so much time looking at what other people do on social media that it's like, do you have time for yourself? Are you taking that, you could be benefiting your own life by putting more of that time that you put into others into your own well-being. So this is when picking up new habits comes along handy, and it's going to help you in your everyday life. What we're trying to get you to do is to generate your own positive energy. A ver, bajamos, por favor. Helping others, you look amazing. You look like you can run a marathon, okay? Maybe. I've never done a marathon, so who knows. Why do good things for people and people do bad things to you? Oh my God. Okay, so if that was the way of life, let me check out our members chat. Hold on. If that was the way of life and that was the way that we decided to look at an everyday life today, right? Like, why am I gonna do, hi David, welcome. Why am I gonna help anybody if, like James just said, people only help you when they need something in return, right? So I think that getting to that stage where you are careless as to what comes back to you because you're always doing good, you have nothing to worry about. And there's something that I have to mention that has no price, and that's that your subconscious is clean. You have nothing that haunts you. When you do something wrong to someone else, it's going to make you feel bad inevitably. Unless you're already a bad person, then you're not going to care. But if you're a good person and you do something bad, or you steal, or you do something that you just know is wrong, you're not going to be able to sleep at night. So if you ask me, that is the most priceless thing in the world, being able to sleep at night with a clear conscience. So don't worry about what the other person does. Don't worry if they're doing wrong to you or to others. Worry about what you're doing to the other person. And that is probably one of the most important things, because you'll be able to have a good night resting sleep where you just generate positive energy. Everybody makes choices, and just because someone did something wrong doesn't make it right for you to do something wrong to them. All right. How many times, and I can vouch for this, the amount of people, especially here in Mexico. Here in Mexico, everybody's always trying to get ahead of you. Especially if you have some kind of wealth, it's always trying to scam you or take money. And there's a lot of scams in Mexico, and we've fallen into maybe 2 or so. And it's always like, should we sue? And I'm like, you know what? Karma, I have always thought this way. And it's like karma has such a better way of getting back at them, that the effort and the stress that being binded legally to something has on you is just not worth it. You know, when you have a lawsuit, or when you have, unless you're like, you know, someone very, very rich and you don't even have to think about it. But we're talking about, like, right, you hire an electrician and they fight and they almost burn up your whole place, like stuff like that. Where it's like, man, you know, that guy shouldn't even have a license. It needs to be taken away. And then it's like, am I really going to go through all that trouble to actually go through the process, the legal process? The lawyers are going to get half of it. And it's like, you know what? Karma will get him. And that's kind of been my way of life all along, you know, where I know that sometimes it is necessary to put some people in their place, but depending on where you are mentally and if you really, really want to deal with that kind of stuff, because it is keeping you tied to that person. So I'm in the point of view, which doesn't make it right or wrong, but I'm in the point of view where if someone does something wrong to you, you know, just accept it and learn, you know, why did you attract that person in that moment of your life? Why did that person even why were they even attracted to your energy to begin with? Okay. Learn from the mistake of maybe things that you should have asked for, or you should have checked before hiring them, or before anything, depending on the situation, and just let the universe handle it, you know, and just wish them well and say, you know, if you did wrong to me, it's definitely going to be coming back, but I want nothing to do with it. And in a spiritual level, in an energy level, I get this a lot with people that have like sorcery in Latin America is very normal. We always talk about this. And people always ask me, should I send it back? You know, like when the family member does black magic to another family member. And I always say, you don't have to, you know, because once, you know, all you're doing when you reach help, when you find help for something like this and the person is able to cut that negativity from your life, which is what positive energy does, you don't really have to do anything for it to go back. It's going to go back on its own, you know, so you never wish someone else wrong. Never wish hate on anybody else. Just accept it, and accept that if they passed your life, if they passed through your life, it's because, I'm confused. Oh, it's because there's something you have to learn from it, and just keep going. So glad to see you back in the studio. Ooh, ooh. Muy bien, amigos. All right, my loves. We'll see you next time tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern time. We will be here with another Jenny Live. And it seems that my time is up because they turned off the lights on me. Nos vemos en la próxima mañana a las 7 de la tarde. Un besito grande. Nunca le deseen mal a nadie. Todo lo que va viene. No se preocupen porque el karma siempre, siempre, siempre se va a encargar de hacer que si alguien te hizo mal a ti, algo le pasará después. No te preocupes. Sigue tu vida. Chao.